Alright, if anybody can see me, give me a minute. I'm trying to get set up.
Do you love getting high, but smoking?
Okay. If anyone can see me, I'm sorry if this part's boring. I'm just trying to get set up. I'm doing something different for once where I'm going to also be in Discord. I have no idea if my microphone works, but I guess we'll see. Alright, first things first, mic check. Alright. Seems like on my end the microphone for YouTube is working. So I'm gonna kill the audio. I want you guys to let me know if you can hear me. Jeff, how's it going? Corey, how's it going? Baby Roku. I don't know if you want me to use your real name. I guess I'm gonna use people's first names. If you're using a real name as your YouTube account, I'll use your first name at least. I don't like giving away information, people's public information or personal information. But Jeff, how's it going? Corey. All right, cool. Is it? It should be nice and loud. I always make sure my microphone is really good. Johnny, I love that. Okay, so I'm still getting set up. It's not exactly 7 o'clock yet. Thanks, Jeff. I appreciate that. Just you know what I like to do is read the comments out loud. What's up, Summit? How you been? Um, so Jeff said happy birthday because today is my birthday, and I decided to celebrate it with everybody who supports me instead of actually seeing friends and family. It's something I'm doing for the first time ever, and I hope you guys enjoy this. Now, some of you are in the Discord, and there's two Discords. One of them is called the Ecotech Syndicate. Um, so if you're in there, I'm going to turn on I guess, the community meeting with the voice chat. And I haven't tested this microphone. I was trying to, but I was the only one in there, so I really couldn't get an answer as to if it was working. So if anyone's in Discord, I guess let me know. I'm gonna turn that on, and I guess you guys can hear me. I have no idea. So I'm going to leave it up. If anybody can hear me, great. If you can't, I'm sorry. But what's everybody doing tonight? And I appreciate all the happy birthday wishes. Thank you. And everyone who was wishing me happy birthday on, Facebook and Instagram. I appreciate that as well. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? Give me a minute, everybody. I always like sharing the link to the YouTube live stream. Give me a second. What's up, Zach? I'm going to try and send this out to everybody. Hopefully, if I'm still in this audio chat room, it doesn't shut it down. I have no idea. I've never done this before. I would need... I don't know. I have no idea. Thank you very much. Overcome CC. Hopefully I said that right. Is Overcome from a video game? By the way, I'm a little distracted because it's not quite 7 yet. I'm still trying to get set up. So anybody coming in, I'm very sorry. But I'm just sending out the link to the live stream for everyone to see it still. At least I want to hit up a few people. Or at least I'm going to a couple of the groups just so you guys can see the link. Give me a moment. In the meantime, if you guys have any questions or subjects you want to talk about, feel free to ask and post. That's what the chat section is for. Oh, cool. So wait, so what is the CC for? Chevy Cruze? Is is it overcome the name of the cruise if that's what you're building? All right, so sorry for the silence. I am almost ready. I guess I'll just throw it up in my. I'll just put it on my wall. It's fine. People will find me. I like having more people because the subjects get better. Oh, car crew. That's pretty cool. Oh, so overcome your like the name of your guys' community, like your car club. Okay, so I have no idea if you know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna message the owner of Ecotech. I will let him know that I'm in there just so he can show up and let me know if it's working. So there. I'm trying to do something new. Okay. Hey Bernard, how you been? Hope you're doing well. Wait, so let's see. That says Feliz cumpleaños. Okay. I don't know what language that is. But I'm assuming it says happy birthday, and I appreciate that. Alright, so I am in the group chat, and I am in the YouTube chat, and I am in the Discord, and I think everything's running right. I have no idea. Oh, it isn't. Okay, it's been. I wasn't sure exactly what language it was, and I didn't want to misassume what it was. Hey, what's going on, Chris? Thank you. So, I guess. I guess if you're in Discord, let me know in here if you can hear me or not. But in here, I'm really happy to see everybody. I mean, a lot of you guys are you're pretty good friends of mine, and I really appreciate you guys showing up. Anybody who's a member, you guys are usually closer friends, and I appreciate that. Anybody who's not a member, but you still keep in touch with me. You're people that I enjoy meeting. I enjoy seeing whether you're in the membership or not. It doesn't matter. You guys are still close friends. And I appreciate all the support everyone gives. So, which is why I wanted to, I haven't done a live stream, and I think I was realizing that it was about 6 months because I was, I won't lie to you, I was pretty miserable for, I don't know, pretty much the end of last year and the beginning of this year with all the pain I was having with my spine and my knees and my elbows. So what's basically happening is my spine has, your spine has discs, right? So here. So like imagine these two things. Imagine these two things as the bone in your spine. Well, let's pretend this is the bone and this is a disc. Mine basically is disappearing, and then I have two bones basically rubbing together. So I get to a point where I literally feel the bones touching each other, and it hurts really bad. And then what happens is because it's getting thinner, in between the bones, it's pinching nerves, and those nerves are causing pain throughout my entire body. So I have days where I'm like tonight, I feel pretty good. But then I have days where I'll work like I'll just push through it, and then for like 3-4 days straight, I can't do anything. I'm in so much pain, I have to pretty much lay in bed because any kind of movement hurts. Um, and yeah, Jeff said it. It's hell. It really is. So unfortunately, nowadays, you can't get any kind of pain medication because every doctor assumes you're trying to get pain medication because you want to get high. So if you have actual pain, uh, you can't get help. And unfortunately, a lot of doctors send you to different places. So if you go to a doctor that, you know, you assume is going to help you with pain, he's going to send you to a specialist, and then that specialist is going to send you another specialist, and then that specialist will send you to another one, and next thing you know, it's like 6 months later, and you're waiting for an appointment for another specialist, but that appointment might take 4 months to get to, for you to get to it. So basically like a year goes by and you have no help, you're in pain and you're waiting for help and you realize it's never going to come. So lately I've just been working through the pain. It hurts, I'm miserable, but my wife realizes that this community that I've grown is very important, and she sees all the people I interact with, and she sees all the people that I talk to, and she realizes that it's so important that, I don't know who knows this, but she pretty much quit what she was doing full time, and she's been running Super Cruises for me. So Super Cruises, I mean, I didn't start YouTube because I had a business where I was trying to sell stuff. I started a business because I was a YouTuber and people wanted support for the community. So I started Super Cruises. So Super Cruises literally grown by the community, which is why I keep it going for everybody. And Geraldine realizes how important it is, so that's why she helps me. So now you guys have you have basically a power couple, which is Geraldine and I, and I guess in the cruise community. I was joking the other day, we're a horsepower couple. And then on top of that, this is allowing me now she's taken some of the burden away, which is allowing me to actually develop more stuff. And so there's gonna be a lot of really cool things coming out. I don't know how in depth I want to get with this, but there's gonna be a lot of cool stuff coming out, and I think everybody's gonna be excited. And I'm glad you guys are enjoying Super Cruises. The YouTube channel, it's called Dave's World because it's my world. It's everything I'm dealing with. It's stuff I like to work on. So yeah, I'll have a cruise video. I'll have a lot of cruise stuff because I'm excited. Hey, I made hood struts, right? So I made a couple videos on hood struts, which basically it's kind of like an ad for hood struts, but at the same time it's what I'm doing for everyone, which is why I want to share it. Every once in a while I might work on my Cobra. I know Chris loves my Cobra, and I have done a few videos in the past for Chris, literally for Chris because he loves it so much, and I want to share the car. It may not get, um, it may not get as many views as like a cruise video, but it gives me a reason to play with the car because most of the time it sits. So wait, you guys are saying stuff and I'm just rambling on, but let's see. UAV Pix, how you been? My LTC is about to go to the junkyard. Help it. Oh, I would absolutely love that. Oh, Mike, I just realized who that is. I actually was waiting to hear from you. It's funny because you were kind of messaging me like every week, and then now that I'm ready to talk to you about the car, I haven't heard from you, which is funny. But yeah, no, message me, send me a text message. We'll talk about it. Chris, let's see here. I thought you were Tom's. That's pretty funny. How have you been, by the way? I haven't talked to you in a little while, Chris. Let's see, UAV. And of course, happy birthday. I appreciate that. Yeah, the Cobra, that car is a car that I built that car. It's not finished, but I built it before I started doing YouTube, and I did so many cool things on that car that I really wish that I documented on YouTube what I was doing, because I actually documented everything on Facebook. But in the beginning of 2022, my original Facebook that I had since Facebook was new, I'm talking, I think Facebook's like at this point almost 20 years old. That Facebook got deleted. So all of my documentation on that car is gone. So what I decided to do is anybody who's a member, you guys have access to a member's website, which I'm not going to say the site here because it's not fair if you're a member and a non-member knows the site. But that site, I actually started redocumenting everything about how I was able to build the car, because even though it's a Shelby Cobra, I was able to do it to this point for about $15,000, which is very cheap for a Cobra. The average finished Cobra, even with a mediocre engine and a mediocre paint job, is still like a $60,000 car. Mine, though it's not perfect, is only $15,000, but I still have that Cobra experience. So I'm getting a $60,000 experience for $15,000. And to be honest with you, it's a lot like a motorcycle. It sits most of the time, but I absolutely love when I get it out because it is epic whenever I take the car out, and I especially love bringing a friend in it because it scares the poopy out of them. Stupid cheap. You got that right. It is very cheap. Now, I was able to get this car before COVID, so prices on these things, I don't know where they're at, but I can definitely tell you that every car now versus the way it was before COVID is at least double of what it should be. So pre-COVID, I was able to do it for about 15. Who knows? Right now, that same car might be maybe a $25,000 car at this point, but still, it's still half the price of what a completed mediocre cheapo version of a Shelby Cobra would cost. So, still a cool car. And by the way, just because this is like a birthday thing, you guys can literally ask or say anything you want tonight. I know it just turned right after 7, so there might be more people coming in. But for now, I might just ramble on just to keep everything going, so it's not a boring live stream. So I don't know. I don't know. I'm staring at the Discord screen, and I see a couple people in there, and I guess I'm seeing it light up whenever I'm talking, so I'm assuming people can hear me. Let me check my messages. I want to see if
I can hear you. I don't know if you can hear me.
Oh, I'm trying to figure out how to unmute. Oh, that's funny.
Oh, Summit just joined.
Okay, I can hear stuff, so I'm assuming it's working now.
Can you hear me?
I can hear, I think, Jordan.
Okay.
Right,
Cool.
and Summit's. I have him muted, so I'm gonna. Let me see what happens.
No, that's.
Did you do it?
Actually, him. No, that's himself having it muted.
He
I
muted
can't
it.
mute people though, so I'm really just here to protect you from getting like kicked off YouTube in case somebody
Okay.
comes in and I have to kick him or mute him.
All right, that works. So I don't know. I don't know when I'm gonna start doing the Discord side of things. But I guess maybe we'll save it for a little later, just to give people time to come in, because we just started sharing everything. In the meantime, let me check out YouTube because I have people messaging. So give me a second. All right, on YouTube we have Jeff. Hey, has the dealership called you back? Just curious because even when I looked up the VIN online, nothing comes up. So if anybody's curious about what he's asking, is he just traded his Cruise in on a really cool Volkswagen SUV. And I happened to call the dealership because I was curious about the car because they gave him a decent amount on the trade-in. And I was really curious to see what they were trying to get for it. I was curious to see if they were just going to send it over to, auction, or if they were actually going to try and resell it for what they gave it to him for. I was just curious. It's a very unique car, so I was really curious to see if, because of all the crazy modifications, if it would sell higher because it's so unique, or if they were going to try and get less for it because it was so unique. I was really curious. So I called them. I talked to them for a couple days, and here we are like 3 weeks later, and they're trying to sell me a Silverado. They were just basically using the car to get me to call and then trying to sell me other stuff. So whatever. I mean, while I was at it, I did talk to them about possibly trading in my wife's Acadia, because the Acadia has been giving me problems for the last year because the transmission is awful on that truck. But I don't know, they haven't really gotten back to me. And I haven't really talked to them since then because the one or two times I did talk to them, it was about the Silverado, and they still haven't given me an answer on the Cruise yet. And I told them what I do. I told them literally who I was and the company I own. I figured they would have gotten back to me pretty fast, but no. Jeff, you bought a Honda CRV? I thought it was a Volkswagen for some reason. Or maybe originally were you looking at a Volkswagen and then ended up with a CRV? Let's see, Jeff. Chris, actually. So, Chris, yeah. So, you have an Acadia. So, the Acadia, our Acadia, is on its second transmission. The first one went bad because of the torque converter and it ate up some gears. The second one went bad because the transmission was overheating, but no codes, no warning lights, nothing on the dashboard on that truck let us know something was wrong. So, what I decided to do this time around is it has now an upgraded radiator and it has heavy duty. Like the radiator on that thing went from being like I don't know, about 3/8 thick to like an inch thick, inch and a quarter thick. It was so thick I had to modify some of the body panels to actually fit the radiator in. So now it's running cooler. Everything inside is like heavy duty internals for like, so if you have like an HD version, this truck has like HD internals now. Much stronger Acadia. But I would happily trade the thing in if I was able to get some good coin on it on another like 3-row seating truck, because I'm tired of looking at that truck. Even though my wife loves it, I hate the thing. But anyway, Jeff, let's see. You said payoff was $5,800 and the guy gave me 10 on trade-in, so that's awesome. Yeah, that's true. That's why I was curious. I didn't want to say how much, but they gave you such a good number that I figured on my Acadia they would have given me a really good number, which is why I was trying to see what they would give me because I would happily have it towed out there. Um, yeah, Bernard, the Acadia. The Acadia brand new is like at least my wife's version was like a $60,000 truck. It's gold. It has leather everywhere. It has heated seats. I think it might have a heated steering wheel. I don't remember. Touchscreen radio. I mean, it's a gorgeous truck. It has ambient lighting. It has, when we're driving, my son gets car sick, and it has air conditioning like overhead. So if you're in the back or in the middle, you have your own heat or AC, so he doesn't get car sick. It's a great traveling truck. Um, and so we ended up getting it for like 13 grand because her Equinox broke down, and this was during COVID, and it was really hard to find vehicles. So the fact that I got it for like 13 grand was a steal. However, within a year, the transmission went bad. So for the last 2 years, 3 years, it's just nonstop transmission problems. And of course, everywhere, every day online says transmission. Like stay away from the Acadia. Don't get the Traverse. Every one of them has this like Ford GM 6T75 6-speed automatic that just falls apart and has problems. So that's what I've been dealing with for the last few years. And of course, I'm injured. So when the transmission goes, because of my back and my spine and my legs, instead of me being able to like fix this transmission in like a week or two, it takes like 6 months. So that thing was literally sitting in my garage for 6 months, and I had to muscle my way through. And I was actually having my wife help me, and it was a nightmare. And I'm really over the truck. She loves it, so the only thing that keeps it around is she's in love with it. Other than that, I'm tired of looking at it. Um, let's see, Jeff. He ended up with a CRV. Oh, that's funny, Jeff. I didn't realize you got the. I didn't notice that it wasn't the Volkswagen. I just knew. I think you like the color black, so I just remember seeing like one black truck and then another black truck and not realizing it was different. Sorry about that. Uh, in fact, there's even a Facebook group I started for Volkswagens. I didn't realize you had a Honda, which is funny because I invited you to it so you could show me what's going on. I might just change the name to Honda stuff. Chris, grill blocks reduces airflow and overheats. Oh, I didn't even know that. I didn't know it was the grill doing it. I wonder if a good modification would be like removing the grill and putting in a one of those like billet grills. Uh, yeah, that might be a good mod to do. Maybe that's technically a performance mod because you're keeping everything even cooler. I also thought about doing like an external transmission cooler, but I didn't find one that I liked, and the ones I found were so big I was worried about them overheating the radiator, which I thought was a problem. Let's see, Bernard. My friend had one and bought a rebuilt trans from O'Reilly's for 24,000 miles. For 2,400 bucks, that's not bad because to buy a transmission, most of the ones I saw last year were, again, this is coming off COVID. They were like 3,500, and then most shops wanted 7,000. In fact, when I dropped the truck off, it had to go for a transmission adaptive relearn. I brought it in. The dealership did the adaptive relearn. They called me, told me something was wrong with the trans, then quoted me $8,000 or 70 something $100 to put in a new one with a warranty. And then I told them, you know what? Do a trans flush, do the adaptive relearn, and they did, and it's been fine since. So they were just trying to upsell me. But I will say that they had to pull the trans lines to do the adaptive flush, and of course they broke one of the trans lines, so this thing's leaving transmission fluid everywhere, which makes me hate it even more. Let's see, Chris. So what I did was drop temps 15. Oh wow. So Chris has an Acadian. He said he was able to drop his temperature 15 degrees. So wait, so you got to send me a picture. Are you talking about physically removing the grill, or are you talking about something behind the grill? Is there something there that blocks it? That I didn't notice on ours. Jeff, chicken wire. Chicken wire is a good idea. I do like the way that came out too. Let's see. Overcome. What are your thoughts of the 1.5 Malibu compared to the 1.4 Cruise? Well, it depends. I had a 1.4 Gen 1 Cruise. I had a couple of them, and it was at the time they were slow because I wasn't doing a lot of modifications to the Cruise because I've always had a V8 powered cars, which I still do. So then I decided that I wanted to build a 1.4, but my family couldn't really fit in the Gen 1, so I bought a Gen 2. So 1.4 Gen 2 Cruise, if you have a family, better vehicle, you can fit your family, at least you can fit 2 kids in the back. If you go to the Malibu, even though it's a bigger engine, it's actually a bigger car. So if you have a larger family, the 1.4, I'm sorry, the 1.5 Malibu is a better car to get size wise because you can fit more. But even though it has slightly more power, it's a heavier car. So I think they're actually performance wise the same. And by the way, there is parts coming for the Malibu. There's a lot of stuff that's not on the website, but there is parts coming. Jeff, the CRV is a 1.5 turbo. That's pretty cool. Considering it's a Honda, I wonder if that has their V. What? No, it's not VQ. That's Nissan. Oh, VTEC. I wonder if that's one of the VTEC class engines. Chris, removing the insert and essentially use chicken wire. Oh, I have to look at our truck now. I don't remember which grill it has, but it's not a Denali, but it's the it's like the level in between base and Denali, so I have to look at ours now. I'm assuming I have to look at it. I thought it was just squares, but I wonder if they're so big it blocks airflow. Completely. Oh wow. Okay. Oh, I didn't even realize that. So just so if anybody's watching this later, Chris is letting me know on the Acadia that I guess there's a lower area that blocks a lot of air. He took his out and it actually dropped his temperature, so I'm gonna try doing that to the Acadia also. Hey, what's up, Jamar? How you been? I think Geraldine and I were Geraldine. We were talking to you. I don't want to say I think, but we were. I'm glad you showed up. Zach, I'm glad you're here. I appreciate it. Yeah, I do. Zach, I agree. So Zach said the Cruise is more fun, basically in reference to the Malibu. I do agree with that because I like lighter cars. I like smaller cars. Just to give you guys an idea, like, you know, I'm a Miata head. I love the Gen 1 Cruise. I love, even though I'm a taller guy, I do enjoy the older Corvettes. I like like the old MGs. Like I love like 2-seat sport cars. So if you give me like a small car, I'm excited because I like how they handle and I like how light they feel. So I'm definitely a fan. I would much rather have the Cruise over the Malibu, even though space wise the Malibu is nicer. I do like that the Cruise is much lighter. It feels light too. Like even the second gen Cruise somehow feels as light as the Gen 1, even though it's a little heavier. Let's see, Bernard, the 1.5 turbo suffers from fuel dilution. Change oil more often. Oh, that's good to know. I didn't even know that. I guess maybe it has something to do. Well, I don't. It might be the head, and I know the turbos on those cars are close to the 1.4 turbo, but they're slightly different. I wonder if they have PCV issues. I haven't really I know I have guys running the PCV fix kits that I sell for the 1.4 Cruise turbo on the Malibu 1.5. So I wonder if that helps with that problem. Let's see. Fuel dilution is more in the colder climates and people who drive low mile. I could believe that. You know why? If you're in really cold climates, your air fuel ratio is not right. Sometimes actually in the colder climates you have shutters, and the timing and the transmission get advanced so you can overheat the engine a little bit. But sometimes your rings don't seal up all the way, and you get fuel that kind of washes the cylinders down. So I can see that happening. Let's see. Honda is supposed to have fixed that. Oh, you're talking about the Honda engine. Okay, I didn't realize that. I'm sorry. You guys confused me a little bit. So yeah, so all right. So they're talking about the 1.5T Honda, not the 1.5T Malibu engine. So sorry about the theory. I do think out loud a lot. So Summit, you are in YouTube and you are in Discord. Can you let me know on YouTube how things sound on your end? I thought this Discord community meeting would have a chat. I guess if I switch over to general chat, right? Would I be able to ask questions and you guys can still hear me? That I don't know.
There's a voice to text chat right up above us. It's 2 spots up. I don't know if you see it.
No, I don't. So guys, so hold on. You talk for a minute. Everybody on YouTube, can you hear what's happening on Discord? I'm assuming you can because I'm using microphones.
Testing. Testing. Testing.
Summit, let me know if you can hear. I actually didn't know who was talking just now. Was it Tempest?
Yeah, it was me.
Hey, how's it going? So yeah, so let me know if you guys can hear the Discord people. So this is something new I'm trying. So I'm not sure when I want to go full Discord just yet. I will warn you guys because of my stomach and esophagus problems. I will eventually start losing my voice and we'll have to cut it short. But in the meantime, I'm gonna try and do this. So as far as chat, I do see here. I'm gonna say hello in the chat. Just in Discord, just to see what happens. I probably won't use this because I have way too many screens happening right now. But I just want to know if you guys can see what I'm saying. So in the future, if we're doing, let's say, a community meeting in Discord, I might not be doing YouTube, but at least I could still see what people want to ask who might not have a microphone. I'm guessing you guys are on your phones. Um, hey, how's it going, Mr. Guy? I'm assuming well, I don't need to say that. You are a cool dude, and you have a pretty cool Sonic. So let everybody know about it, which is kind of cool. All right, Jordan, I can see you typing, so at least I know the chat's working. I'm gonna close the chat, so I'm curious to see if anybody says anything. If the chat lets me know somebody's saying something, which is kind of cool. Cool. So in the meantime, I guess if you guys on Discord wanna maybe ask a question. You guys can do that now, and then that way the people on YouTube can hear you, and then we can talk about stuff. Like I said, this is new, so I have no idea how this is gonna go, but it's cool to try it out. Feel free to I don't know. Do I have to unmute you? No, you guys can unmute yourself. So go ahead and unmute if you want to say something. Um, just for me joining live event. Oh, that's a first for you. That's cool. Yeah. To be honest with you, I enjoy these because I really like. Even though I talk to a lot of you guys, I do like having everyone together because some people have even made friends just from talking in my live stream, which is cool. I do like to bring everyone together as much as possible, and this is something that I'm a little rusty. You know, it's funny because the last time I did one of these, I think was in November, and it was, I don't know, I was kind of, to be honest with you, back in November, I was really thinking about kind of like what I really want to do with all the medical problems and the company, and this is why Geraldine jumped in to help me because I didn't want to lose Super Cruises. So back then was really the last time that I was really thinking about doing this, and then I kind of did a live stream I think maybe in October, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna do these all the time, and I haven't done it since. So I feel like this is like my first time ever doing it, but I enjoy these. I enjoy being able to talk to everybody live. I think it's a lot of fun, and I've had a lot of people ask me if I want to do like a podcast, and I don't really know. I mean, I guess if people want to do a podcast where it's just me talking, these are kind of, I guess, a version of that. But I think a cool podcast to do would be, I have a lot of friends in the industry that, they build cool cars and they own cool companies, and I have friends local that have cool companies. What I could do is maybe do like a Zoom type of podcast where them and I can maybe talk this way, and you can see both of us and hear both of us, or I could invite them on my live stream, or we can film a podcast and I could actually start hosting. I could set up like a podcast section on my website with podcasting. What is that called? Episodes, podcasting episodes. I mean, it's an idea. I've had people ask me to do it, which maybe in the future I might do that. I don't know. It's kind of cool. I like being able to give people some behind the scenes stuff. I know a lot of the members, you guys, a lot of people watch the behind the scenes stuff that I put in the membership, which is kind of cool. So I guess since I'm not seeing, oh, here we go, Guy. You just said interviews, dialogue with interesting, relevant people. Yeah, I'll give you an example. I have a friend named Joe. A couple years ago, he had a kid. He has a second kid now, and we got along really well. But I've been so busy and I've been dealing with so many things since COVID started that I actually haven't physically seen him in a while. But he sells like G8 parts, and he's a really cool guy. He moved from like out of his house to into like a warehouse, and he's a really somebody like him. Like I would love to just hang out, talk about what got him where he is, and how much he's grown, and I would happily hang out with him at a shop, and maybe I could figure out a way to do it mobile, and then maybe I'll do is even though it's a podcast, I'll do audio and video, and I'll just hang out with him. He's a cool guy. Like he's an example. My friend Doug, I haven't seen Doug in a while, but Doug, some of you know who Doug is. He's a tuner and he works on like Corvettes. And he basically anything LS powered. Corvettes, if you drop an LS in an old Camaro or even an old Corvette, what is he like? A classic car, right? Like I have a Shelby Cobra, I could have dropped an LS in it, and Doug would have done the tuning. And he has a dyno tuner. He has a dynamometer where he can tune on the dyno. You guys, in the future, you guys will eventually see my cruise on the dyno at his shop. I just haven't gotten around to it because I literally have days literally where I'm laying in bed because my spine is in so much pain. Moving is excruciating. Um, so I haven't really been thinking about running out to a dyno shop because standing around waiting for the dyno to be free is really like I have to actually think about like okay, if I drive out to his shop, it's about 45 minutes. Then after I get there, I probably have to wait for a Corvette to be finished, or Doug might be on the phone talking to a client. And next thing I know, it's like I'm like 3 hours into this trip, and then I need to feel like excited to film a video, which I'm in pain and I really sometimes don't even feel like turning the camera on. So there's a lot to weigh in when I'm dealing with pain. So needless to say, it takes time. But I would love to hang out and maybe get him on a Zoom or maybe just hang out at the shop. I did a bunch of videos at his shop because I absolutely love going there. But I would love to do something like that. I would enjoy that. He would probably enjoy that too. He's great on camera. Um, and he's friends with Rob Ferretti. So he's actually been on camera for a very long time. So he's used to being on camera. He's a fun guy. He's built some really cool cars. I have a car on in my YouTube. If you go back like a year and a half to 2 years ago, if you look up, I started calling it the Blue Devil, but it's this like 1300 horsepower Corvette that it is insane. It runs off methanol. There's some footage of the car racing a Shelby Cobra. The guy who owns that car owns a Cobra, and they do this like 1 mile drag strip racing. Doug invited me up to Pocono Raceway to actually film and hang out up there, but again, it's just one of those things where it's such a long drive. I was worried about my back and stuff, so I never went. I would love to have gone, and it'd be cool to do like a podcast there too, which eventually maybe I'll get there. I don't know. Right now, I'm so focused on there's parts I want to bring everybody, and I'm very highly focused on helping Geraldine. So I started Super Cruises, and Geraldine took over. So she's running the show, and she's been branding the company. She's been growing it. She's been giving ideas and creating new stuff. I mean, the stuff on the website now that she's been putting up is amazing, and the stuff that she's working on, the stuff that's going to be coming out, I'm so excited. I'm actually so happy she's working with me because I thought now her family's been giving me trouble about everything that's going on, but I thought she would give me a hard time, but she actually like basically stepped into it like she was made to be here. So I'm so excited that she's helping out, and I'm glad you guys are excited. You guys all accepted Geraldine in a fantastic positive way, and I really appreciate that. Okay, so let's see. Chris, you had said, oh, Jeff, what's going on? So Chris, you had said drop an LS into the Silverado. Oh, you did that? That's pretty cool. Yeah, the Silverado comes with an iron block, so you can get it with a 4.8, which is my favorite engine. You can get it with a 5.3 and a 6.0. Or you can drop in like a Corvette 5.7 or a Corvette 6.0 and it's aluminum, which the way the heads are designed, you get a lot more power than like the truck version. Though, I've seen a 4.8 liter on a lot of nitrous and a lot of boost get a Corvette down the quarter mile in like a 9 seconds. It blew up after like 7 or 8 passes, but it still did it completely factory bottom in. Um, let's see, Jeff. Have a good night. Time for me to go cook dinner. Have a nice night, Jeff. I'll talk to you later. Thanks again for the happy birthday. Thanks again, Guy, for the happy birthday. Baby Roke, she's doing an amazing job. Yes, Geraldine is. Again, you know what's great is so she was doing like legal work. She was a paralegal for years. It was like a condominium law, and she liked it, but she really didn't like it, and it was just a job, and she was never really happy. And then when we had kids, she really hated being away from them. And then she was kind of doing real estate and sort of liking that, but not really because clients were driving her crazy. And then doing this, it allows her to be so creative. She's my wife, and I've been with her a long time. But now that she realizes that she can come up with an idea, and I 100% support her idea, she comes out with some really cool stuff, and because of that, you guys get cool stuff. I didn't expect her to be doing this, and now that she is, I am so excited she made a leap. And unfortunately, her family's not supportive, but I am, and my kids and me, we are supportive of Geraldine, and she is supportive of us. That's pretty much all I need, and she's happy, we're happy, and that's the most important thing. And I'm glad that you guys accept her for what she's doing. And you know what? She's been on camera a bunch, and she's doing a great job. I didn't expect her to be able to do that, and she, she was shy. Every video she does, she gets better and better, and it's been awesome. Yeah. So Chris, you put the 5.7 in. That's a great engine. I have a. Well, I sold my Miata. So when I started YouTube a couple of years ago, I bought a Miata and I bought a Corvette 5.7 liter. I think it makes. I have dyno sheets. It makes something like 500 crank horsepower, and it has a 6-speed T56 manual. It's just sitting in my shop. So I sold the Miata because it sat a lot. Not because I hated it, but because of my medical issues, and I have a couple cars. I felt bad letting it sit, so I decided to sell it and let somebody else enjoy it because I didn't want it just sitting around and maybe start rusting or start having problems from sitting. But I still have this V8 sitting there. So I thought of a few ideas, like maybe in the future if I can get some money together, maybe I can get a Shelby Daytona. It's one of my favorite cars. It's actually my dream car is a Shelby Daytona. So a Shelby Daytona was the hardtop version of the Shelby Cobra. So if you ever look up an old Daytona, it's this really cool, like imagine a Shelby Cobra with no roof. Well, this one has a roof, and then it has this big spoiler that comes off the back, and these fixed covered headlights with these domes over them. It's a gorgeous car. Unfortunately, the average one of those built is like $75,000 to $100,000. The kit alone is like $50,000. And if I were gonna put that engine in something, I would love it to be that. But I also thought of maybe ripping the engine out of Cruise Missile and putting that 5.7 in Cruise Missile, and I thought about maybe putting an automatic with paddle shifters and using it for drag racing. I mean, if I'm going to go to like 5 and 600 horsepower on the Cruise, I would rather do like a V8 swap. It is a lot of work. I mean, a lot of people think a V8 swap is a couple $1,000s. If you put a V8 into a second generation Cruise, it's at least $15,000 to $20,000. There's basically nothing from the original Cruise, drivetrain wise, steering wise, and frame wise, that can be reused on a V8 swap. I promise you, anybody that looks into the car will realize after digging in and realizing what it'll cost that's the expense. So do I really want to build a $30,000 V8 powered Cruise race car? Maybe. I don't know. Sounds fun. So that might be something I'm thinking about doing one day if I choose to do it. So I'm seeing some messages coming on Discord. I want to see what everyone's saying. So Jordan, you said, am I aware of the Cruise SS concept? What are the chances of Cruise Missile gets a turbo that big? Yes, I am. I remember seeing it. I believe it's that red Cruise, and it had something like, let's call it a 60, 70 millimeter turbo. It was huge. So, yes, there is a chance that can happen. It depends on one thing. See, here's the deal with Cruise Missile. I love the car. I absolutely hate the transmission. So when you drive any manual on the planet, and I did a video on this, I don't know if it's public, but it is in the membership. The gear ratios on Cruise Missile are really, really wonky. So the final drive, so the differential on that car has a moderately low gear. 4 cylinders usually need a high gear, right? So if you hear of a gear ratio being like a 410, that's a high gear. If you hear of a gear ratio being like a 2.5, that's a lower gear. Cruise Missile has a lower gear. Then what they did was put like a 4.6 first gear. So right away, first gear runs out really fast. I don't know why they did that. Then they decided to put like a 2.5 second gear. So the ratios are so far apart that when you shift from first gear to second, all the moment. So the car has a lot of power, which is great. But the momentum that you have to basically start over. Like, it doesn't have rev hang. It doesn't keep the RPMs up. It goes, 6,000 RPMs, boom, drops right down to 0 or whatever, 1,000, and it has to start over again because the gear ratios are so far apart. Then when I go to third gear, Again, car has a lot of power, drops back down again because now it goes from 2.5 to like a 1. So it drops dramatically, and then we gotta let it build. So you'll see in my videos, like every time I change gears, you'll see me get pushed into my seat, and the turbo going, and then you'll see the turbo kicking in, and I'm getting pushed in my seat, but then I'm being thrown forward in between gears because the ratios are so far apart. So can I go put a massive turbo in the car? Yes. The problem is the transmission is awful. So my next big modification, if I choose to keep that drivetrain, is I want to build a custom transmission, and I want the gear ratios to be closer. So I want it to be something like a 3 for first gear, maybe a 2.5 for second gear, maybe a 2 for third gear, and a 1.0 for fourth gear, and then maybe a 97 for fifth gear. I want the ratios much closer, so when I'm shifting gears, the RPMs stay up. So when I shift to the next gear, the RPMs are up. And the thing is when you drive the automatic, that's how they drive. So when you're driving an automatic cruise and you have a big turbo, that car will plant you in your seat and you're just pinned as that thing is shifting gears because the gears are so close. So that's what I want for cruise missiles. So that's my next big thing. Once I do a transmission, then I'll probably do a larger turbo. And by the way, since we're talking Gen 2 turbos, I have a couple turbos on the website. There is a Gen 2 turbo coming out that's good for 200 to 235, 240 horsepower. I wanted to be right under the Bad News Racing GTX 250 or the Bad News Racing GT25. I don't remember what the Gen 2 is. And then BNR has like the next level up. I wanted to hit all the cars that people don't want to spend an arm and a leg to get power, but they want power. So I have some budget stuff where you can do like a billet version of the OEM turbo that'll get you up to like the 190, 200 horsepower range. And then I have an upgraded larger turbo that'll be 225 to 240 range. And then BNR has the larger stuff from there. And could I go bigger than that? Yeah. But really, I don't see people wanting that. So I kind of think people want more of like a budget version where you can get power and a bigger turbo, but you're not spending thousands of dollars to do it. That's my idea, which is why I kind of went that way. Let's see. Tempest, you said agreed. Third gear is usually supposed to be a power gear. Yeah, right. So Tempest, so in my car, Tempest is saying third gear is usually supposed to be a power gear. So on my car it is. But driving the car, just driving it just for everyday use is awful. I hate that transmission. I've done everything in my power to make that manual better. I have a lot of transmission videos. I've done everything in my power to make that thing better, and I can't stand it. So I'm just going to make a better transmission. It's what I do. It's what I want to do. First things first, better transmission, because I'm sure there's a lot of guys that have manuals out there that keep hitting me up for like for clutch upgrades, which is great. Upgrade to clutch, but you still have a crappy transmission. So I want to come out with a better transmission with better gear ratios. So that'll be one of the things you guys will see in the future. So let's see, Chris. Chris, I'll talk to you later. Sorry I didn't notice. I was sort of talking about transmissions too long. Let's see, Jeff. You had said, "Oh, I just remembered. Did you ever hear back from BNR for that Malibu tune?" Yes. I think I messaged you. I will talk to you in Messenger about that in Discord. We'll talk about that again later. Jeff, manual Malibu. So Jeff, my transmission might be coming out if you want to put a manual in your car. Scotati. I think I said that right. How's it going? I appreciate that. He's saying happy birthday too, and hopefully I said your name right. I try to pronounce everyone's name the correct way. Baby Roke, any news on upgrade on axles? Broke 3 already. So yes, there is an upgrade on axles. Because the car is not popular in the racing world, I can get axles. They are probably 4 times the price they need to be, but you'll buy them once and never buy them again, so it might be worth it. So if you guys want axles, just message me and I'll hook you guys up with axles. Let's see. Jordan, you said, could a Cobalt SS tranny bolt up? No, it cannot. Well, internally, maybe I can use some of the parts, but a lot of the stuff on the Cobalt trans is different because of the axles, the width of the car, the diameter of the axles, speed sensors, stuff like that. It's a different operating system, so the transmission might not work. It's actually easier for me just to take my transmission apart and build custom internals than it is to find another trans. Let's see, a Civic trans. Maybe. I mean, maybe with an adapter. Um, he's bolting a Subaru trans to an LE2. Yeah, I know that guy that's doing that. That's cool. For what he's doing, it's a kit car, if memory serves, or it's like a custom vehicle that he's building from scratch. So that makes sense that he's doing it that way because for him, if you already have a trans and you already have an engine, an adapter plate's cheap. But if you don't have either, then things get expensive. So that's probably why he did that. For me, I have a trans in the car. To make custom gears is very expensive, but I'll actually love the car after I do custom gears. So I would much rather just do custom gears um, than trying to figure out. Like, I don't know if I want to go out and maybe buy $1,000 or $500 Cobalt trans and try and make it work. It might cost me 2 or 3 grand to make that work, and then in the end, I could have just spent $1,500 on custom internals for my transmission, and it bolts right in without a headache. And I can replicate that for other cruise owners, so why not do it that way? Let's see, a K-swap on the cruise. So, Tempest, you were asking about K-swapping a cruise. My only gripe with a K-swap is, yes, it can be done. The problem with the K-swap in most states is it's illegal. So the operating system to run the Honda engine is against the law, and that operating system is the reason why you see a lot of these tuners that are getting fined. That's the reason they're getting fined because they're using illegal tuning software to power these engines. So I personally will stay far away from anything Honda related. I don't want anything to do with Honda stuff. I would much rather stick to GM stuff. I see. Here's the thing, right? Cruise missile. Everything on cruise missile is not illegal for my state. So that's the key, right? There's plenty of people out there that cut the mufflers off, remove catalytic converters. They try to get rid of like check engine lights because of O2 sensor faults, and all of that stuff's illegal. I have not done any of that on my car, so I would prefer it to be legal. So throwing a K swap in, can it be done? Yeah, you can throw tons of money at anything. It can be done, but in the end of the day, if you get pulled over and you have the right cop, that might be a $30,000 project that's literally going to get flushed down the toilet because it's illegal. And now with the EPA, the EPA is basically telling you that, okay, you have a race car. Since you took, now look, you take a car, you bring it to a racetrack, you want to make the car faster, you make modifications. Then you decide to maybe put a roll cage in, gut the interior, take emission stuff off, which is fine for a racetrack. But the EPA now takes issue with the fact that you took a vehicle that had a VIN number, you modify the exhaust and modify the emission stuff. Even if you do an engine swap, it has to be a legal swap. You go do that to the car and now it's deemed illegal. The EPA can come after you. That's why the RPM Act is so important. Not enough. Actually, people are voting for the RPM Act, and they're trying to get it pushed through. The RPM Act protects us. So if I want to take cruise missile and I drop an engine in, I'm going to drop an engine in that's legally allowed to be there, has the right, it's going to have catalytic converters, it's going to have O2 sensors, it's going to be legal, it's going to be rear wheel drive because I like rear wheel drive, it's going to be a race car that I can drive to the track legally and drive home. That's what's going to make it more expensive. Can you V8 swap a cruise probably for half the money? Yeah. Is a cop going to impound it and are you going to lose all your money? Yeah. That's the difference between what I do and what a lot of people do on YouTube. There's a lot of YouTubers that do illegal things. I don't want to be like them. I prefer to do things legally. So my version is going to be expensive. You know, there's a guy, Rich Rebuilds. He works on Teslas, right? He rebuilds flooded Teslas. He rebuilds crashed Teslas. He put a V8 in his car, and a lot of people were giving him crap because, oh, it's taken you like 3 years to do it. Yeah, it did take him 3 years. The car has 600 horsepower. It has a 6-speed manual that is, I forget what it's called, but it shifts itself. You hit the button and it's a manual that shifts itself. It's I forget the name, and not only that, the Tesla itself accepted the V8 powered engine, so all the functions work. It knows there's a V8 in the car and everything's integrated with the V8. So he did it in a way that it functions properly, and if the EPA went and looked at the car, he converted it to an internal combustion engine. It still has emissions and stuff like that. At least I think it does. I'm not sure. But so again, his build ended up costing like I think like $70,000 because he did everything the right way. Even though there's other people putting V8s in cars and putting gas powered engines in Teslas, he did his in a way that the thing's a show car. It can go to a racetrack and it can be driven every day, and that's how I prefer to do it. Let's see. I'm gonna go over to Discord. If any of you guys want to talk too, let me know.
It was actually closer to like 90 grand.
90
I
grand?
remember watching that series, yeah.
Yeah, 90.
And then he got banned from the charging stations by Tesla.
I'm not surprised. Tesla wouldn't help him at all. Tesla likes to keep everything in house because it's not that they don't want people copying them. They're a target. Like for example, Top Gear, right? Top Gear put Tesla against a Corvette and another car on a racetrack, and they showed a Tesla after like 4 or 5 laps dying because the battery died, right? It wasn't true. So people have used Tesla for years as targets. Tesla even sued Top Gear, but because they're out in Britain, it got nowhere. So Tesla does that because they're tired of being used as a target because they're the biggest company on the planet. Tesla is the biggest car company in the world. Tesla by themselves sell more cars than every other company on the planet added together, at least in America. So that's why they protect themselves. Okay, so yeah, Tempest, that's literally what's going on. So for example, let's say like Chris was saying, he put a Corvette engine or a LS in his Silverado. In a lot of states, if you take let's say a 1999 Corvette LS and you drop it into a 2005 Silverado, it fits and drives. The problem is because it's an older engine going in a new vehicle, it's against the law. It has to be a brand new engine going in an older vehicle. So if you have a 90, let's say an '05 Silverado, you have to use an '05 or newer engine and those emissions for that to be a legal swap. That is something no YouTuber talks about, and it drives me crazy because you see all these, builds that are getting millions of views on YouTube, which is great. They're getting views, but they're also teaching the younger generation to do things that are illegal. And it drives me crazy because of that stuff. The EPA is now cracking down on people. There's companies out there where people are taking the DEF and the diesel emission stuff off their truck, and they're making a YouTube video where they're rolling coal and shooting black soot on people. Well, the EPA watches that stuff too. And now you're making this video where you're basically showing everybody else that that's fun to do, and they're watching you do it, so they get the idea that they want to do it, and now it's spreading through the community, and now the EPA wants to stop it. And guess what? What are they going to do? They're going to start going after the people showing you how to do it. I don't blame them, but at the same time, I want to run my YouTube and my car show and the stuff I do legal and correct, and I want to make sure when I talk to people that I don't want to show people like, hey, I'm going to go cut my exhaust off and go piss off the neighbors. I'm not going to be that guy. And when I do a swap in my car, I'm going to do it the right way so you guys can learn the right way to do it. And I think that's the reason that I'm popular, because I try not to, I don't pull the wool over people's eyes, and I try not to lie about stuff. Let's see, it sucks. That's true, because my state motto is live free or die. Where are you again? I don't remember what state you're in. Let's see, Tempest. I might as well swap the Cruise at this point. After just having my motor done, I blew my turbo and oil cooler up, and I blew my cat out. Ouch. Oh, New Hampshire? Yeah, what is New Hampshire's... Uh-oh. Hold on one sec. Hey, everybody. Sorry, the battery died. Hey, everyone. Sorry, the battery's dying on my camera, so I'm running out of time. But, so the RPM Act, since you guys asked, is there to protect us. The RPM Act is protecting motorsports. So it's there to protect tuners. It's there to protect companies that make exhaust systems, performance parts. So the RPM Act, you should go to the SEMA website and vote for the RPM Act. You want the RPM Act to go through. It's there to help us. Because if the EPA overreach keeps coming, what's going to happen is, for example, my Corvette for a while was green with a big wing, right? It's completely legal. Has factory cats on it, factory exhaust system. If I drive it down the road, it's fairly quiet considering it has a lot of power. Everything is legal. A cop could pull me over because it's a race car, right? Well, it looks like a race car. sounds like a race car, but it's not. What's stopping a cop from saying it is? So the RPM Act stops that kind of stuff. And we kind of want that. Look, there's a lot of people who get into engineering and get into working with their hands that tinker with a car when they're young. And they want to build cool stuff, and it helps their creativity. Because of not having the RPM Act, that's going to go away someday. And everything is just going to be done on the computer. And I mean, how boring is that, right? Just drawing a car on a computer and that's it. You want to be able to get, like, the sense of accomplishment you have to build a car is so amazing that it actually helps you decide what you want to do in life. I got into working with my hands because I loved tinkering with cars. I tinker with so many things, and cars are one of those things where I made a change and saw a result, and I shared it with my friends, and I made friends that also were into cars, and it's been in my blood since I was a child. And I don't want it to go anywhere, and I want the next generation to be able to enjoy that too. And electric cars drive me crazy, but hey, eventually, if we allow the EPA to overreach on making modifications to cars, and we start modifying electric cars, what's going to stop them from giving us a hard time about modifying electric cars? They'll find a way. I can almost guarantee it. Let's see. I have a lot of questions coming in, guys, so I'm going to try my best to answer everybody because I am going to start losing my voice. So, Zachary, my wastegate opens up when I shift from second to third and keep on throttle. But if I were to granny shift and stay off throttle a second when I hit it, the boost ramps up normal. Any advice? Let me think about what you're saying. My wastegate opens up when I shift from second to third, and I keep on the throttle. But if I were to granny shift and stay off throttle, so there's two things that operate the boost getting higher and lower on your turbo: the diverter and the wastegate. So if you're not getting any codes whatsoever, the car is functioning correctly. The reason you're seeing changes in boost is because your ECM is modulating your wastegate and modulating your diverter because it's probably trying to do something with torque management and timing. So if you're not getting a check engine light at all, the car's doing what it's supposed to. The problem with the Cruise is it's a very unique operating system, and a lot of people think, well, I saw a video where a Honda Civic, the boost went up and stayed there. How come my car doesn't do that? Well, that's because it's not running on the same operating system. So that's why. As long as your codes aren't kicking in and the codes aren't giving you problems, you're fine. Now, seeing the boost change, I need to know in more depth. So do me a favor, message me directly. I know you can get in touch with me. Let's talk a little bit more about modifications. It could be something else happening because I have seen leaks. A lot of leaks with the factory intercooler pipes. In fact, this week Geraldine shipped out like two. So we have now factory replacement metal pipes that you can use the original Cruise intercooler, but you can change the pipes out now. Because, well, I shouldn't say now. I've been doing it for 2 years. It's just now it's on the website because people, usually what I do is I'll do it for people, but it wasn't really on the site. Or it was, but it was at the bottom and I didn't think anybody cared. A lot of those plastic pipes are cracking and a lot of the O-ring areas are leaking. So you might throw a brand new wastegate in, and I know you have one because you got it from us. And you might seeing boost changes. It's not the wastegate. 9 times out of 10 when I have somebody that's having like a boost issue and I look through their car, it turns out it's their intercooler pipes leaking or their diverter is the problem. So definitely message me and we'll go through your car because that could be what's going on. Give me a sec. I want to check my battery life. Guys, we're going to be running out of battery on this thing, so I may have to unplug the microphone or I may have to just call it quits soon, but I just want to give you guys a heads up. So let's see. I'm in California. They're beyond strict. Yeah, I know. Like, even you got in trouble over something dumb. And yeah, you got pulled over and now your car's been sitting because you got one of those tags on your car, which isn't fair, but that's why we need the RPM Act. Galaxy Gaming, how's it going? I'm glad you're here. Jay, I'm going to call you Jay. I don't know how to pronounce your last name, or I don't want to say your last name because I don't like making last names public. Thanks for wishing me a happy birthday. I'm going to... Monster Mash, how are you? Any updates on Gen 2 Cruise Clutch? Yes. So I actually just got finished talking about upgrading the transmission on these cars. So there's going to be some gears, some differential upgrades, and then some clutches in the future. So get in touch with me. Get in touch with me about that. Unless you want me to re-explain what I'm going to be doing with the transmission. Hey, Bud Rob, how are you? Um, that's a funny name, by the way. But I'm gonna jump over to Discord. There are a couple questions over here. So New Hampshire, okay, yeah, New Hampshire is a little strict. So Florida, yeah. So Tempest in Florida, I would love to be a Florida man. That's pretty much where I think I need to be. Um, Summit, you're definitely welcome to share your build. Hey guys. Hey guys. Hopefully this is working now. Hopefully this is working now. It shows I'm connected. Okay. All right, guys. Sorry about the microphone in YouTube. I had to unplug it. I plugged in my camera so you guys can still hear from me. So I was trying to talk about Summit's car. Can you guys hear me, by the way?
We can hear you. I watched your YouTube video though.
Yeah, I'm talking about on YouTube because I unplugged the microphone. At least on Discord, you guys can probably hear me loud and clear. On YouTube, I'm sorry if I'm a little quieter.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Louder. Unfortunately, the camera uses the same port for the microphone as it does for charging, so sorry about that. So I was in the middle of talking about Summit's car. So if you guys ever see Summit in Discord or you see Summit on YouTube, his car, if you look at my, hey, Fopiano, how are you? Thank you for coming. If you guys look at one of my intercooler videos, you'll see a white car, and that's his car. It's really cool, and he has really cool Instagram. He loves photography, and he takes some really nice pictures. A lot of times I steal his pictures and I repost them because he takes some nice shots, and I'll share them with people so they could find his Instagram because I really love how they look. Fopiano, haven't seen you in a while. I'm glad you're here. Sorry I haven't talked to you in like 6 months. But I'm glad you're here tonight. You're always somebody I think about because you're an OG subscriber, and I appreciate it when you come around. Yeah, so I'm at the point where I think we're gonna try and do something different. Oh wait, let's see, Monster Mash. Dave, my car was the hatchback.
My Discord to go on speaker right now. It's for some reason only on the regular one.
Hold on one sec. So Monster Mash, Dave, my car was the hatchback that you commented on, the blue one. Oh, the nice one with the orange wheels or the bronze wheels. I absolutely love the way that looked. Kind of, you know what it reminds me of? Like an early 2000 Subaru. Let's see, Matt's 88YJ. Happy birthday. This is Matt. Oh, hey Matt, how are you? So Matt, guys, if you see Matt's name on my YouTube, there's a G8 video where there's a silver G8 with orange calipers. He's a friend of mine. He's got a really cool car, and it's really loud. I absolutely love the way this thing sounds. It sounds like a NASCAR driving around. So guys, I'm doing something a little different. Yeah, Zach, do me a favor. Please message me and send me a video. I want to see what's going on. I had a problem, somebody with that problem literally a week ago, and it ended up being their intercooler pipes were cracked. So guys, so those of you on YouTube that are showing up late, I'm doing something a little different tonight. Now, I'm going to warn everybody. Because of my esophagus problem, I'm starting to feel myself lose my voice. I'm going to try and do sort of a podcast type thing where on Discord, you guys can actually hear people talk. So I don't know how this is going to go, but we're going to try and do that now. I will answer YouTube questions. At the same time, I'm going to try and talk to people on Discord. So I don't know. Guys on Discord, I guess you're allowed to take turns. If you guys want to take turns talking, go ahead. Say something. Just chime in if you want. In the meantime, I'm going to answer. So you guys are asking about the 3-point valve solenoid that Eric is testing. Well, I haven't tried it on my own car. I don't have the problem that I think Eddie's car has, so I don't really know on my car what benefit it would have. I mean, my car runs over 30 psi, so I really don't know on my own car what it would do.
I guess later on after they're finished with their testing, they can let me know like a performance gain. That's really all the only information I have. I don't have any more information on it. On my car, like the OEM valve, I upgraded the hoses and clamps and the wastegate. I mean, I have a lot of upgrades on that car, obviously, to produce the horsepower it makes. I don't have any of that weird boost issue that I think they're trying to fix. I don't know. So we'll see in the future, I guess. I mean, that's what happens with testing, right? Let's see. Oh, strange, it's not here. So, all right. So you guys on Discord, let's see. You guys are trying to figure out a grade out. Here, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to hit the microphone button on Jordan. Jordan, I guess just start talking. Can I hear you now, or can you hear me and then you talk? And I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. Guys, I'm trying to do this Discord thing. What I might do is maybe we'll just do a community meeting in the future. Maybe not do it all on YouTube at the same time.
Here, I just can't figure out how to put my thing on speaker.
Well, I can hear you, and YouTube can hear you. So, whatever you just did was working. Let's see.
Yo, what's up?
Hey, how's it going? I'm going to close down chat so I can see who's actually speaking. Let's see.
I'm talking in the Discord, that's all.
Somebody just asked me an important question in YouTube. I just want to answer that. So, let's see. Opinion on. Oh, also, I used to push 25 psi, but now I dropped down to peak 20 to 15 psi in average wide open throttle. What is your temperature? Because in the winter you might see higher boost, but if the car is running perfectly fine, in the summer you might see a little less boost, and you might have to adjust the wastegate a little bit. Because the car's trying to change your timing and might be trying to back down the car because of, what's going on environmentally. Yeah, let's Scotati, do me a favor, message me directly and I'll help you out with that too. All right, Discord guys, if you guys want to ask me a question or start talking, go ahead. I don't really know how to jump back and forth, but you guys on YouTube, I guess we'll give Discord a little bit of time to talk. I guess we could try and do this as a podcast. I don't have much time left on my voice. I could feel it. What do you guys want to talk about?
Shares his build.
Say that again?
Kempis should share his build too. He's got one of the cleanest cruises. Nah, me? What? No, I'm just coilovers, BNR tune. Nothing too exciting. AM intake. I'm static though. Just spacers in the rear and then washers in the front. Gotta get low.
Yeah, I've been working on, before my back was hurting, I was working on like a camber setup for the rear on those cars, because I had a lot of people hitting me up who went low, but they got the wrong offset tires. So the tires are rubbing.
I would love to go real low here, but these roads do not call for it whatsoever.
Yeah, well, I'm near New York City, so it's pretty much the same. The roads get fixed about once every 3 years, and they're only good for about 6 months and back to crap again. So, and I'm running on.
And it's a very hilly area here.
Yeah.
So.
One thing about being lowered that low, I would love adjustable like adjustable rear end stuff, because like the alignment on my rear end is absolutely atrocious. Like I cannot fix it at all. It just eats up my tires.
Yeah, I mean, in fact, I haven't filmed this, but if you look at the front wheels on Cruise Missile, because of the horsepower and torque it makes and the camber that I run, it's down to steel belts on the inside. The outside's perfect. I have fresh tread on the outside. On the inside is down to steel belts. So there is a trade-off to running.
That's what happened to my last tire.
Yeah.
Exact same thing.
You pretty much running a front-wheel drive car with, right off the bat, you're going to wear tires out fast. Because you got to keep in mind, the back tires really don't do much except for support the car, but the fronts, they're turning, braking, it's your acceleration. They're doing a lot. So you go through tires pretty much every 10,000 miles on a front-wheel drive car. And if you're like me, you burn them up in about 7,000 miles.
Yeah. Yeah, I've only put, I want to say, around 7,000 on these new set of tires, and I almost need another set.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that sounds about right.
That's funny, because I'm still on the same set of tires from whenever I got my car, and I've put, I want to say 30 something thousand miles on my car, and I still have a shit ton of tire life. Like it's insane how much life I've gotten out of these same.
Yeah,
Are you
that's
lowered
good.
though?
No, I'm not. It's completely stock suspension, but I mean,
Okay, yeah.
still, like this, like 30,000 miles. That's more than you usually get, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, me and Dave were talking about how when we lower our cars, we can't adjust the rear at all, so it just eats up our tires. That's what we were talking about.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
By the way,
When we get
guys,
super low.
if you're gonna talk, YouTube can hear you, but do me a favor, try not to drop curses or f bombs or talk about sex. Not that you did talk about sex or anything like that. That's stuff that could actually get me in trouble. So just watch the cursing. I personally don't care if you're talking to me, but you guys are live in front of thousands of people. Just to give you a heads up.
Gotcha. Okay, I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah, just want to give you a heads up that you're not used to it, so this is growing pains.
Funnily enough, I am used to it because I have a buddy that streams on Twitch often,
Oh, that's fun.
and I'm playing with him a lot. So
You know what though? On Twitch you can get away with a lot. On YouTube,
that's fair.
yeah, on YouTube, like somebody made a joke and then I made a joke and it was leaning towards a certain direction with, stuff kids shouldn't hear, which it was really like over a kid's head anyway. But you know what? Now I watch it because my channel is family friendly. Like I got a lot of people who have a young kid who are learning how to work on a car, and the parents actually message me and they thank me for keeping things clean. So that's why I keep it that way. So what else are you guys planning on your cars? Like what's the dream build, I should say?
First of all, need money.
Yes, I've been there.
Second, the thing I'm wanting to do next on the Malibu is most likely a tune.
Tune, that's fun.
Obviously, I don't have the budget for it at the moment.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, with the Malibu, there is a certain year where General Motors puts so much encryption you can't tune. You luckily are before that, so you should be able to be tuned. I'll talk to you about that later. I don't want to get too detailed, but with the Malibu, it can be tuned. I know what to do. I know how to hook you up. So.
Man, that's a pain.
Say that again.
It sounds like a pain.
It is, but it's a platform that doesn't. I wouldn't call the Malibu a platform where people are going to go modify it and take it to a racetrack. So if you're going to talk about a car,
no, not at all.
Yeah, if there's a car that's going to be at the bottom of the barrel for performance parts, it's going to be the Malibu, which is why, just so you guys know, I have Malibu 2.0, Malibu 1.5 intercooler systems, Malibu turbos. We can get it tuned, and Gerald's currently building 3 Malibu intercoolers this month. So Malibus are getting taken care of, and if you go to ultimateecotex.com, it'll bring you to the Malibu section of the website, which is going to get revamped for Malibu guys, Sonic guys, Equinox guys, because you guys don't know this, but there's big brake kits for you. There's hood struts for you, turbos, intercoolers. There's a lot of cool stuff coming.
So you got a lot of stuff test fitted for Malibus already?
Oh yeah.
Oh, you never told me this, bud.
Well, I've been in so much pain. A lot of the stuff I was doing before I got hurt, I figured it out, and then since then, Gerald's been building the stuff on my designs, and customers have been buying it. Gerald's been sending it out, and people have been giving us feedback. Like a lot of the stuff has been awesome. So I'm very excited to be
definitely
offering
note
that.
taken for the future.
Yeah.
Start compiling a list of stuff I want.
I appreciate you trying. I appreciate you watching your language. So listen, some guys are asking some questions on YouTube. Let me answer them real quick, and I'll jump back to Discord. So Fopiano, thanks for texting, Hernan. I'll get back to you in a little bit. Fopiano, if it's worth a ton of work, rear axle beams can have the alignment fixed by shimming and subbing. Yes. So the problem is with our platform, it's getting the shims. They're rare. I did come across a couple. The other idea is bending. You can kind of bend them. The thing I worry about though, which with messing with the rear, is the car handles really well, and I would hate to have somebody spend a ton of money modifying that just for looks, and then you have a car that might fly off the road because of it. So I'm taking it slow with figuring that one out for everybody because I worry about the drivability. That's one of the things I do. Like for example, like intercoolers, right? I have an intercooler that bolts onto the Chevy Cruze, no issues whatsoever. You have one little modification on a piece of plastic, everything bolts in like it's meant to be there. No drivability problems. It works right off the bat. Or I have people hit me up and they want some gigantic, massive intercooler, and they're running a factory turbo and there's turbo lag, and they want these giant pipes and things aren't working right. And that right off the bat, I'm not going to sell somebody something like that because they're going to have problems. I would much rather test it on my own car first and see what's going to cause the problem and make sure the sizes are correct before I have somebody go put that on their car. Trixie, if this is Trixie, it's real nice to see you. I appreciate you showing up. Let's see. Monster Mash. I did BC Racing coilovers because I found the alignment amazing. Yeah, I have BC on my car. Whoever that is, Jordan, can you mute them? Because I think they're swearing in the background.
I already muted them, don't worry.
No, they're not muted on my end.
Oh, they're not?
No. See if you can mute them. It's Gen 2 Cruise OG, I think. Let's see.
There we go.
Trixie, what's going on? Feel free to say whatever you want. By the way, we're getting to the tail end of me doing this, so there's going to be a certain point where I'm going to be running out of voice here. But let's see. Fopiano, let me clarify that I think aligning for looks is a bad idea. Yes, I agree with you 1,000%. But most of the time, I run camber on my Corvette, right? The camber is there for a reason. I'm going to wear the tires out, yes, but you don't notice the camber because it's cambered just right, so the car handles better and drives better. It's a much tighter suspension. The guys that are cambering for looks because they bought the wrong size tire or the wrong size wheels, very dangerous, because instead of you having 100% contact patch with your tire, and then you go with a little bit of camber like on my Vette where you're getting like 70% contact patch but you're still getting good grip, a lot of those guys are getting like 50% contact patch, and those cars are very dangerous to be on the road. So Trixie, this is a little different tonight. Normally I read everyone's questions, but I'm also on Discord where people are talking to me. So guys on Discord, if you want to go back to talking, I'm jumping back in if you guys want to have some conversations. So feel free to start talking if you have any questions or want to say something. So Fopiano on YouTube is talking about basically doing camber for looks, which is cool on a car that gets trailered, but not cool if you run way too much camber that throws off your alignment, because you can fly off the road from that, and I have witnessed that. What's up? I hear you, but you disappeared. Who's talking? You just cut out. Gen 2 Cruise, I think you might be working with your microphone, and I'm not sure if you're coming in, if you know that it's not working. All right, in the meantime, I'll cut back to YouTube in the meantime. So, Trixie, so you have a PT Cruiser in baby blue, which is a very unique car, and I absolutely love it. And I've seen 3 of them driving around this month, and every time I see them, I think of you. And I wish you could share pictures right now, because it is one of the cleanest PT Cruisers I've ever seen. And that is a car that you never see on the road anymore. So even though you might think it's blah, it's awesome. Car people love stuff like that, especially when there's very little of one car on the road, they become super popular. I promise you that.
I respect it. I respect it if it's clean.
Yeah, right. Exactly. If you see a PT Cruiser that's garage kept with no, because the PT Cruiser in the beginning was a car that like people would buy and beat the crap out of. But if you see one nowadays that's showroom clean, and it's like 15 years old and looks awesome, I'm excited to see something like that still be alive. And Trixie has one of them. In fact, that's their 3rd one, I think, right? Trixie, didn't you have like, I know the blue one, I think you had a silver one. I don't remember the color before, I thought it was silver. But is that your guys' 3rd one? And the awesome thing is she learned how to drive on it. Let's see, Monster Mash. You said I'm from Canada and plan on doing a trip to New York. Oh, that's cool. Keep in touch, definitely. Oh, that's your 2nd one. That's what I thought. I thought you had 3, but I definitely know you had more than one. So Discord, guys, because I can't read screen names, so I don't know, unless I'm hovering, I guess. I guess that's where they went. Oh, there you are. Okay, so Tempest in Florida. How far away are you from the Freedom Factory? That's definitely one of my bucket list places.
The
I want to go there.
Factory.
What'd you say?
Where is the Freedom Factory located? Orlando?
Oh, geez, I don't remember. I don't think it's Orlando because when you look at all the surrounding areas, it's very farm-like. I think it's more.
Yeah.
It's more
So
north or more south.
Yeah, I live in Miami.
Oh, you're in Miami? That's a nice area to be in.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. I live on the more rural side, so it's like farmland as well.
Yeah, that's even better. So you get
it's like towards the Everglades.
Yeah, you're close to the like car life, but you're far enough away that you don't have a lot of cops bothering you.
Exactly. Yeah. Actually, the car life is massive down here. I live on a road called 27. Every single night, there's street races going on.
Oh, that's fun.
Every single night, and it's cool because like there's one gas station, it's the Sunoco on the corner, and there's at least 50 to 60 tuner cars there. You see even like Lambos, R8s, stuff like that. It's really cool.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I love that.
Yeah, it's sick. It's sick to just like stop by. It's like going to a Cars and Coffee, except way less tame. It's absolutely awesome.
Where you are, it seems like the car show scene is like what's the word I want to say? Tame. So like, but in like California, where cops are so strict, it's like mayhem. Every time I see videos, there's nothing but mayhem out there. If they acted that way in California, the EPA probably wouldn't be so strict out there, you know?
Oh yeah, no, not at all. Actually, the cops down here, they usually don't really care. Like if we start getting too rowdy, then they'll just pull up, flash their lights, and then everyone leaves, and then that's the end of it.
Oh, that's like respectful. But when you're giving the cops a hard time, you know, cops are car guys too. And when they show up and they try to help you and they're trying to keep the show going and they're disrespectful people, sometimes they shut
people
stuff
are just
down.
like F the pigs,
right,
and stuff like that. Like you can't do that.
I always respect police officers. In fact, you know, I don't get pulled over very much really anymore. Ever, I actually really don't get pulled over ever. But when the last time I did, I was in my Chevy SS. I had the kids in the car. They were making fun of me because they were calling it slow. So Daddy hit the gas. I floored it right past the cop, going way too fast. Cop pulled me over. I shook his hand. I gave him respect, and I said, "Listen, I know exactly why you pulled me over." And I told him why, and he laughed about it. And he saw that I wasn't a guy messing around. And he just let me go. And now when the kids are making fun of me, I won't do that anymore. But it was still a funny story. Let's see. I'm gonna.
Yeah, it's fun knowing I'm only an hour and a half in Tennessee.
Say that again.
It's fun knowing I'm only an hour and a half in Tennessee.
Where's that? Oh, Hennessy Performance?
Yeah, it's just in between Houston and here.
Yeah, Hennessy Performance that's another bucket list. You know, it's funny. My wife wants to go to like Disney in California, Disney in Florida. She wants to go to Italy. I'm like, I want to go to the Tail of the Dragon. I want to go to Pikes Peak. I want to go to Hennessy. I want to go down to Florida. I want to race on the Freedom Factory. Like those are my bucket list. Like that's the stuff I want to do on vacation. You know.
Mm-hmm.
And that's I really want to go to the
Nürburgring. That's another one.
Dude,
or the what's that highway in Germany? The Autobahn. I want to go on the Autobahn. Like that's the stuff I want to do. Like the stuff you see on Top Gear when Jeremy Clarkson was the host. Like that's the stuff those are what I want. Like that's what I dream about. That's what I would love to be doing.
If you don't mind me asking, what's the current status of? I think it's Black Widow, the Gen 1.
So Black Widow wasn't being touched because Geraldine's transmission blew up, and that was her everyday car. So technically, that's her car. Okay. But her truck's back on the road, so it's getting big brakes. It's getting the Widow turbo. It's getting the aluminum radiator upgrade. It's getting the ported intake manifold upgrade with the PCV fix. It's going to go for some dyno runs. I mean, that's going to be a budget build. So Cruise Missile is an expensive cruise, right? But but Black Widow is what can you do on a budget? So it's going to be probably going from 100 horsepower to like 225 wheel horsepower, and showing you guys how to get there with all of the Super Cruise's available parts. and there's packages on the website now. So let's say you have a budget you want to work with, go to the website, click on the packages, and based on your budget, you could literally choose. Like there's a package put together for you. And if you have a package, like let's say there's a package with 6 things in it, but you have 2 or 3 of them, you can deduct those from the package, and you still have everything else you might need to just deduct that value from it, and Gerald will literally put it together and ship it to you, so you can literally get a package ready to go, which is awesome. So that's what we're going to be doing with Black Widow now. So Black Widow does have paddle shifters in it. It does have the intercooler system. It does have custom wheels. Oh, really cool thing. It's going to be getting custom. So there's going to be spoilers and engine covers coming out in the future, and Black Widow is going to be getting one, and there is one on Cruise Missile that is available. It's just not on the website yet, but you guys seen every video. Cruise Missile, the back of Cruise Missile, that cool duckbill add-on for the Ikon spoiler, that will be available soon. I might, the Gerald might be taking pre-orders on that as well.
Will you also be doing those sort of cosmetics for the Malibu mechanics?
Yeah, once I figure out, I don't want to talk about in depth. I'll talk to you guys directly on Discord. But once I figure out certain formats on the programs I have, I'll be able to do that as well. So, that's why you guys with Malibus, you guys are really good at helping me help you. So things can be done as long as I have your your support. So now I am 100% a cruise guy. And I obviously the company's called Super Cruises, and I support the Super Cruise community because you guys are awesome. But every once in a while, I want to help out a Malibu guy. Why not? A lot of the cruise owners have kids, and what's the next car they're going to get? Either another cruise or a Malibu. Why not support the Malibu too? So I want to try and help everyone. Mike S., I'm just going back to YouTube real quick. So yeah, you are late for the party, but I'm still here, and I'm actually talking longer than I expected. I might cut this short because my throat's starting to hurt, and my family does want to have birthday dinner with me, and I've kind of been here for almost 2 hours now, actually, and I'm enjoying this, so I'm still here because I really love hanging out with everybody, so I appreciate everyone that came tonight. Discord, you guys can still talk, by the way, if you want. If you have any questions, talk. This is your time.
So the Gen 1 cruise is a lot more, it has a lot more aftermarket support, doesn't it?
It does, but that's because they made the Gen 1 cruise. Well, I don't know if you know this, but they made the Gen 1 cruise starting in Australia from like 2008 all the way up to 2016. Then
the Vauxhalls or the Opals, right?
Holden. Well, no, it might have been. It probably was a Vauxhall and an Opal because that's like Holden's Pontiac. So like Chevy and Pontiac, Holden and Vauxhall, and Holden and Opal. So it's funny because I have a Chevy SS. I have a Pontiac GTO, I have the Gen 1 Cruise, Gen 2 Cruise, and you might think, oh, Dave likes GM, but really I like Holden. All of those are imported from Australia. So I love the Holden Monaro, which is the GTO. I love the Commodore SS, which is my Chevy SS. I love the Holden Cruise, which is the Gen 1 Cruise. And then there's the Holden, the Gen 2 Cruise is the last of the Holdens before they shut that down. And then now Holden from General Motors is like rebadged Buicks and stuff, so that's like the last of the Holdens, which is why I have all those cars. That's why I love them.
Holden is just the GM of Australia.
It was, but the Australian GM came up with so many good designs that GM in America used all of their designs to build the Equinox, the Malibu, the Cruise. Well, the Cruise was imported. The Chevy SS was imported, but the Blazer, like a lot of those things are stolen technically from Holden and brought over. Hey guys, so my family just walked in. They probably want to say hi.
I got the game ball.
Oh, my son got the game ball. That's awesome. Are you excited to say hi to everybody?
Hi.
This is Hunter. Last time he was on my live stream, he said dumb things. He was saying, don't say any of it. What was the score tonight?
We
Here, come on,
tied
say, look. Come on. You're tied. Tied is good.
8-8.
8-8, that's good. I'm excited. He's been getting better at batting. He's been getting better at running. He's a good runner. Oh, Grandma's gonna go say hi. You go say. I'll be down in a little bit, okay? Love you, kiddo. I told the boys if they want to come in and say hi, feel free to come in. So I'm enjoying this a lot, but I really do have to call it quits. So I think what does everybody think of me doing Discord voice chat at the same time as YouTube? Do you guys think this is cool? Can you hear? So everyone on YouTube right now, can you hear what's happening on Discord? Oh, by the way, Juan, Hunter loves Gen 1 cruise or Gen 2 cruises way more than Gen 1s. He thought the Gen 1s were way too slow.
They look a lot better. I don't blame them.
What was that?
They look a lot better. I don't blame them. It's more modernized.
They do look cooler. I personally love the Gen 1 more, but I love both. I love all of them. So it doesn't matter because you know what? I love the one I'm driving, so it doesn't really matter which one I love more or less. I love the one I'm driving. So you guys on YouTube, it's a little choppy. You know what? I'm going to do this real quick. I'm going to plug the microphone in. I think
sound louder. The microphone's going to make me sound louder. But you guys on Discord, let's talk. I want to see if on Discord, if everybody can hear me better or hear you guys better on YouTube. I don't know if you guys can hear me. How's that? Go ahead, just talk. Testing, 1, 2, 3. You know what that reminds me of? You guys ever watch Wayne's World?
Which one?
Wayne's World. So this is going to show your age, right? I'm 40, right? So Wayne's World for me came out when I was in my teens. So Wayne's World, you guys might not even know what that movie is, do you?
Oh yeah, no, I'm only 20.
Yeah, I literally turned 20 like a week ago.
I knew that was going to happen. So yeah, so you guys on YouTube can hear us on Discord, so that's good. So my apologies on unplugging the microphone. I wanted to keep the camera going for everybody. So yeah, so just so you guys know, Wayne's World came out probably when you were born, and you should watch both movies. They are awesome. The microphone might be slowing the feed a little bit, Trixie. I appreciate you letting me know that. So listen, everybody, I'm enjoying this. Just let me know what you guys think of me having audio from Discord coming into YouTube, or if you want me to keep everything separate in the future. I like this. I think it's fun. It kind of keeps me. It keeps the live stream busy, because otherwise I'm just like reading comments. I like that you guys can hear. I thought that was kind of cool. I appreciate everyone coming tonight. At least if I didn't see a lot of my friends on my birthday, I'm glad that I was able to see everybody at least do the live stream. And
Are we not your friends?
No, well, that's what I'm saying. You guys are all my friends. That's why I decided to do this tonight. So, you know, I have lots of physical friends in proximity that I didn't see. I should have had a party, but my town is doing something dumb with my property, and eventually you guys might hear about it. But for right now,
I remember watching that.
Yeah, I took. There is a video floating around that only you saw. That's what's happening, and I have to deal with that, and I don't know what the outcome's going to be. And because of my yard not being finished, I didn't want anybody over. My yard looks like a mess because it's been in hiatus for months. It's literally the back half of my property is nothing but dirt. My original plan was to have rocks brought in, and I wanted to put a shed in, and I wanted to do some stuff with the yard, and I wanted to celebrate my 40th with style, but I just decided not to do it because I've been stressed out. So I thought it would be cool to hang out with all of you guys tonight, because I have friends all over. I have friends all over the planet, and it's hard for me to talk to everyone every day. But I thought this would be cool to say hi to everybody, and one day I'll be able to have like a Cletus and Cars type of thing where I get to see everybody in one place too. One day when I grow big enough, and I can't wait for that. But so guys on Discord, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say goodbye to you, and I'm gonna.
Yeah, for sure. Goodbye, guys.
All right.
You can totally do this more often.
Yeah,
100%.
I want to do this more often. I'm gonna try, and then have a nice night, everybody. I'm gonna try and hang up. I think I'm gonna try and hang this up. I don't know if I'm doing it right. So guys on Discord,
I forgot he was still server muted.
No. All right, guys on
I
YouTube.
needed to see if it improved, but
I'm gonna go myself. Good talking to y'all.
Bye.
Bye. Uh-oh. I lost all my feeds. All right, guys.
did
So
you turn off the election day?
Nope. So guys, if you can still hear me, so anybody on Discord, if you can still hear me, I can still hear you. So I guess you all have to disconnect. I'm trying to. Oh, there we go. All right. So I have Discord disconnected. So YouTube wise, I want to say goodbye to everybody directly. I appreciate you guys coming tonight. Obviously, you just saw Hunter. He loves everybody too. Trixie, Hunter misses you. He wants to see you as well. So, wait, what was this? Fopiano, I want to see what you said here. I'm not sure I could read all of it because of YouTube's rules, but the right and left of the stage are nests. Now the belt feed. There's probably some truth behind that. I can't read that out loud, unfortunately. I'll get in trouble. Chief Gusta, I appreciate you showing up. Zach, I appreciate you showing up. Trixie, Mike, Matt, I appreciate you being here. Tommy. Ooh, Egypt. That's a cool one. What's the car scene like in Egypt, Tommy? Or, well, I hope I said that right, Tommy. It's spelled a little different. I wonder if it's Tommy. Oh, it was a Wayne's World reference. I totally did not get that, but I'm thinking that was the scene when they were up on stage, when they were talking. It was right before the red rope licorice. I totally didn't get that reference, but I also couldn't read it out loud to really hear it for myself. But I love those movies. Let's see. Rob, I appreciate you coming. I didn't realize my mic was live. Yes, it was. And I thought it was funny. That shows your age, by the way. I'm just saying. Monster Mash, have a nice night. Thank you. And then Cruise 2010 and a BMW E60 2008. That's cool. So Tommy, before I go, well, first of all, am I saying your name right? Is it Tommy or Tommy? And do you guys do those cool things where cars are driving and then you go up a ramp and you get the two wheels up and you see how far you can get the car driving or the truck driving on two wheels, and whoever does the longest wins? I see footage of like cars in the desert doing that. I know not all of Egypt is covered in desert, but there are areas that are like that. I'm just curious if that's like a big thing over there. Let's see. Oh, it's an Arabic thing. Okay. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I just saw it in the desert, so I didn't know where it was. Oh, I said chief, or is that chef? I'm sorry. I said Chief Gustav, but your name might be Chef Gustav if I was reading it wrong. My apologies. I think the Gen 2 Cruise Owners group is looking good. It's nice just being a member. Yeah. I literally didn't change anything. I kept the admins where they are, and they're doing a great job. And I like that group a lot. And just so everyone knows, it's run by myself, Geraldine, and a couple great people. Every time somebody joins, you meet the admins now. I changed it so when people come in and they join, we thank them, and then you get to meet the admins in the same thank you, which is kind of cool. They change tires like that too. That's pretty funny, Mike. Yeah, I appreciate that, Rob. So listen, guys, I'm gonna call it quits. I know I keep trying to say goodbye, but I really do love hanging out with everybody. I've been to a few FC. So Fobiano's saying I've been to a few FCP Euro car shows at Lime Rock Park, and maybe it's close enough for a day trip. Yeah, that would be awesome. Fobiano, one of these days, my dream would be, I want to build a competitive race car. I love road course racing, and I especially love Lime Rock. It's one of my favorite tracks. And the reason I know a lot about it is I watched a lot of races, and it was in a couple of video games too. And the one I like on top of that is another one in Connecticut. I can't think of the name, but I love that one too. But I want to come up there, and you're definitely one of the people I'd like to meet. I love your shop. I try to watch some of your videos as much as I can. 'Cause you post a lot less than I do, so when a new video comes on, I get excited and I can't wait to watch it. But all right, guys, I'm gonna say goodbye tonight, but I am gonna try and live stream more. I do miss seeing everybody, and sorry that I haven't been doing it for the last 6 months. I talked about a lot of cool stuff, so if you guys are showing up at the end of this live stream, it's gonna end up being on my channel. Go back and watch it from the beginning because there was a lot of really cool stuff I talked about, and I want to. Yeah, you can. By the way, Rob, you can get through tunes through the Super Cruises site now. Talk to me, message me directly. I know we talk all the time, so we'll talk about it on a later date. But anyway, I talked about a lot of really cool stuff. I talked about a lot of really cool cruise stuff that's coming that I'm in the middle of working on, and it's definitely worth going back and watching the whole live stream. This one's a little long tonight because obviously it's my birthday and I'm talking to a lot of people tonight, and I really appreciate everyone showing up. But have a very nice night, everybody. I'll talk to you later. Wait, I just realized something. Hey guys, can you... So I'm asking if you noticed me signing off because I'm not sure if the camera glitched again. Alright, anyway, I was saying goodbye. Okay, thank you. I was telling everybody, watch the whole live stream because there's a lot of cool stuff tonight, but thank you very much. I'll talk to you guys later.